Thank you so much. I think it's time to welcome our next speaker for the session. And really, frankly speaking, from morning we had been talking about challenges, how to face it, how women face it, and despite of whatever hurdles or obstacles come in. Now, here the next speaker who is coming, to be frank, she also had a challenge right in front of her. Her daughter was running high fever and it was not subsiding. She has to rush to the doctor, and she was having a great own thoughts whether she would be able to make it, because like husband is traveling and she has to take the daughter to the doctor and get the medication, and then after that whether it would be possible for her to come and deliver this and be part of this session. But she made it because of her willpower, because of her intention that she should be here. That is what is the power present in each and every individual, which I say very strongly. And we, with folded hands and happiness, welcome Gyandarshi from Atma Pragya, and I pass it over to Vaidi to take over.
Sure. So again, with folded hands, I would like to welcome Ms. Gyandarshi to our midst. So she is another accomplished person who is here to enlighten us with some amazing thoughts, and she's going to share some of her experiences with yoga and yoga being a way of her life. So on that note, I would like to hand it over to Ms. Gyandarshi to enlighten us all. Ms. Gyandarshi, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shanti Priya, and thank you so much, Vaidi sir. Yeah, it is. It was bit difficult to be present here. Like I just was carrying everything with me to the hospital. I thought, if not possible here, even if I could be, if I had finished the appointment for my daughter at hospital, I would just take some room in the hospital so that I can attend. So I was well prepared, but to give a prior notice, I had informed Shalini that like I'm not sure what would be happening. But midst of all these things, it was really difficult because it was an unusual traffic today, and it was unusual beyond the time given. Even in the time given, they had given me appointment by 10:30. I reached beforehand, but still there were so many patients waiting before me. So beyond everything, I just came back home 10 minutes earlier, and I just told Shalini that I'm just reaching home. What would you be liking to do? She said, "Would you be able to?" I said, "Yeah." So with that note on this morning thing, we are just proceeding towards this Acharya 2022, and really happy to be part of this. Even giving the topic to this selection of topic for Acharya 2022, I was having so many thoughts what to give, because we were expecting so many persons, and I think there has to be
You're
okay.
perfect. You're perfect.
Okay. So I had been putting thought over it, and so many things came to mind, and I thought, and we chose this yoga and evolution. Yeah, evolution, because we are in a plane now where we have evolved a lot. Like from a single celled organism, from that to multicellular level, then reaching on to fish, and then to monkey, and then to here human. So what Swami Satyanand Ji says in his talk is like, he has said this in 1980s. I'm not sure which year he has said. So he has said that like this evolution of the karmendriyas. The karmendriyas is part of the Sanskrit language, which means organ of action. So the evolution of organ of action is over. That's what he has said. And he quotes that, the scientist has quoted this. So we have come to maybe there can be regression in our biological terms. So that's what he has said. So why then looking into evolution? Yeah, we are just looking on to the hardware part of anything, but there are so many things which are, we can call it as a software, which are subtle inside us. So that they are all in the part of evolution. That is what the evolution comes into role in the part of yoga. So here, if we just speak of some other animals, so we can just talk to, in those terms, we can just see the biological things, the physiological things, the evolution that can happen in them. What is it, the next step the animal is going to take? Those things can be calculated, and those things can be seen. But as human, we have reached the peak of the evolution ladder. And physiologically, as said by scientists and as said by Swami Satyanand Saraswati, we are not going to see any sort of physiological evolution further. So that's what the scientific terms also says that. So coming to the subtler parts, yeah, we had a very good session with Yog Sharanji. So he made us close our eyes, feel the breath. So we are breathing since we were born. And that breathe, are we aware of all the time? No. But when we are going to be aware of the breath, it is going to give us so many benefits. So coming to the baseline of evolution, so we are going to talk about the evolution of the software, the subtler things that we are having in our system, in our entity. So it is not that the only gross things. The gross things, what we mean is like the things whichever we are able to see, only those are called as gross. There are certain other things which we cannot see, we can just only feel. Those things come into the category of subtle. So we are not only a gross matter, we have so many things which are running behind us in a very subtlety. So also Swami Satyanandaji says evolution is still possible in human being with the Gyanendriyas, which we can note it as a software thing. As commonly we know, as we are handling so much of phone, so much of computer and all those things. So here it means these subtler things. So when we come into part of yoga, yeah, there has been so many things that has been proved by yoga, and it has been from the time immemorial. So when we speak of evolution, so from one species to another species. See, for example, if an organism has been evolved from a single cell to another level, it would have taken so many years. We would not know. It depends upon the level of thing it is going to achieve. Depending upon that stage, it would have taken so many years. So any evolution in its own natural process to get adapted to that situation, it would take its own time. It would take its own very slow process. The same thing will happen with our subtlety also. It happens with our software thing also. It happens with our wisdom. It happens with the use of brain, whichever we are talking about. It happens with us also. It is going to take so many years. Probably it is going to take an era. Okay, but when we have to speed up evolution, we have to think of certain other things. So it is not that technology is going to come in hand, because we people believe that technology is like, we can use technology. There are so many things, there are so many benefits, there are so many advantages. Yeah, of course, without technology, without phone, we won't be able to connect to these many peoples in this platform to share all these things. Yeah, of course, it is very much advantageous. But are we just taking those benefits of those technology whichever comes in our way? No, we are driven away from all those things. So when we come into the part of evolution of our subtlety, it all, again, it takes so many time, so much time and so much years and all those things. So when we take some other processes, it is going to reduce those time. So here we have to look into another aspect, like would any person be liking to move on to a slower process which is going to take n number of years, or we will not know when it is going to happen? or we can take some tools which are available, which has been practiced, which has been, really before even all the theses, before and all the research detail came into accordance into the system. These were practiced by so many sages, so many yogis in the thing, and they have given a very proven results to us. So with those beliefs, with those understanding, if we are going to take these tools into our life, it is going to really help us. So again, like I would like to share one of the example which happened with my student. Like she was like in her mid 30s, and she was really having a very high hypothyroidism levels. So she was having her own tablets, and she came to me she was very living very nearby. She was in my neighboring hood, and I was in a level like that I was able to see her from my own home. So she was almost living very nearby, and she told me that my levels of hypothyroidism are little higher note, and my doctor has told me to take the medications again with the higher dosages. And I told her that okay, um, it is not that we are against allopathic medicine. Yeah, of course we have to take up allopathic medicine when it is needed. But what I said was, okay, we have some time. We will just take 1 week's time and we will do certain practices. Let's see how your body is responding, how your body is reacting those all these practices, and let us see, and then we will move on to the medication. So this is what we just started with, and we just took 1 week time. There were certain practices which she came to my house, which we gave regularly for just a week. And after a week I told her to take the same test whichever was prescribed by the doctor. And even I was not expecting that result. It was so normal. So she went to her the same doctor, and she said that, like, my levels are normal. And her daughter told that, like, yeah, this is what I have been telling you. If you would have taken this medication, you wouldn't have having that higher altered levels of hypothyroidism levels. But she smilingly said that, no ma'am, I haven't taken a single medicine of whatever you have prescribed. I just did my yoga practices for a week and my thyroid levels are under control. So again, she just said okay. She was even, so much surprised. Even I was surprised, because I never expected such a good yeah, I was expecting something good about the results, but I never expected that that would come to a normal level without taking any medications. So I thought, okay, there are certain tools which are so much powerful, which just play into action. Also, one another example with one of my student, like he was not even my student, he was my cousin. Like he was very closely related to me, and I was really bit tense to take up this case, because, like, he was literally down because his own daughter passed away. She was only 7 years old. I never went to the funeral because I was really taken aback, because I couldn't see the little girl which was passed away. So when I saw him, he was very worse. He lost his daughter, and he lost his job, and his wife, she was having some other medical complication. They were trying to have their second baby, and they were unable to have it. And even the wife was not very much supportive. She was having her idea of getting away from him. This was the stage I was meeting him, and he was literally, like, down and down and down. And I just met him in an psychiatric hospital. He was admitted there. The doctor whom he was admitted to, I know him personally. I just went to him. I talked to him, and he said, yeah, he is in really severe medication, and he needs to be in under supervision, and he is being admitted here. That is when I met him. But He was what happened was one day he just moved away from the hospital without the knowledge of any person over there. He somehow managed to move away from the watchman, and he just from the compound wall he came out of the hospital, and he was refusing to go back to hospital. So I just spoke to the doctor. He said the ambulance is waiting out. If he is a little cooperative, we will give him some shots. So he would become drowsy. Then we can just take him to hospital. That was the condition. And I just got call in the night, late night, 11:30, and me and my husband went to his home. In spite of having 2-3 doses, he was not even getting drowsy at all. So the expected result was that he would just, faint, and they would be admitting him to hospital. But he was not even getting drowsy out of all the 2 shots. So the doctor said, we cannot have one more shot. So we don't know what to do. So that was the time I just entered in. So he was laughing at me. See, all the doses is not going to do nothing with me. What are you going to do? He was just laughing at me. He was just, making fun of me, everything. And I didn't even have idea what to do. So that is when I said, okay, we will just give a try. I'm not sure what is it going to happen. We will just give a try. He said, I just want to sleep. If you can make me sleep, I will just obey you, whatever you are saying. That's what he said to me. So I said, okay, let us just give a try. So we just went into his bedroom. I told him to lie down. I just gave some instructed practice, which was like, yoga nidra. I was not even sure. I just had a sincere prayer to my gurujis, the guru lineage, and I just gave the instruction, whichever I was giving to every person whosoever comes. So that is what the technique is. So I was giving. Within 2 minutes or something, he just felt sleep. He felt asleep, and I was hearing his snoring sound. And literally, I didn't know where. I didn't know where I was. I was drifted away. I couldn't get back my nerves back to hold myself to move on to the technique. But somehow things went on good, and we just finished the practice, and he just exactly slept where the technique makes him sleep, and he just exactly woke up where the technique made him wake up. And I was really, really surprised. He slept and he just wake up when the practice finished. And from the next day, he literally obeyed me. He was such a very sorry. He was in a very, as I said, he was in a very down state of mind. He was drinking a lot. He was drinking to the core. Like the family members, they had to go to the bar and they had to bring him back. In that way he was. And then I just started going home for him, and we just gave him practices. To my surprise, he was sleeping regularly. He was doing certain things regularly. He was getting some interviews good done, and their relationship with his husband, with his wife, was all going good. And to my last most surprise was that his addiction towards drug was very low. He almost had quit the consumption of alcohol. See, while I finished the course, whichever I just had planned, he just, quit. He has already quit the alcohol drinking. He was just smoking. So that too, it was in very normal level. I said, you just do these things, even that would come to normal. Then I realized, see, if we even go to some drug addiction center, it is going to some sort of time. It is going to take some time. Yeah, it is going to help. There is no doubt about that. It is going to take time. And the person is going to struggle a lot. I've heard so many cases about that. The person is going to struggle a lot, and the person is going to quit while they are going to be there, and he is going to revert back after some time. But this same person, he just, while giving all these very simple practice, I was not even giving very complicated asanas, very complicated pranayamas, nothing. Very simple practices with very limited time. It was not even 10 days. He just came back to as normal person he was. But if he would have continued the same practice, he would have been as normal as we are, and he would have been more than us now. But that was the sad part of the story. He never continued it back. Yeah, it is going to be there. Like if you are going to take some techniques, you have to prolong it as you can. That is how it is going to be help you. If you are not, if you're not going to take that technique up to your hands, if you're not going to take that tool in your hands, you have to be in a very high level of high level of determination, highly strongly determined you have to be. In that case, you are going to evolve in a higher level with all your softwares, and you are going to be more intuitive, you are going to be more wiser, you are going to be so much stronger. Everything can happen in very shorter time, but it depends, it changes from person to person, it changes from situation to situation, it changes from what we are today and what we were yesterday and what we are going to be tomorrow. So it all depends on the belief system what we have also. These things, all those things put together with continuous practice of certain simpler practices of yoga, it is going to be really a very good process of evolution in each and every human being. It is going to take place. It is not even for human beings. There has been so many research processes they have conducted for plants. The plants have grown well. It has been conducted over so many animals. The dogs have been trained so well than other dogs or other pet animals. It has taken very short time. So there are so many things that can be achieved by yoga. So we don't have to think it up to a very complicated process. So it is there are very simpler practices in so many levels. Like, yoga, it is not only asanas, it is not only meditation, it is not only pranayama. All these things put together, like, even the word, the yoga, which has to be termed, it took time. They had chosen a word which is union, huge. The root word is huge. So that indicates that you have to be in union with yourself in all levels of your entity, your gross, subtle, and every entity of yourself. And even the components of every yoga techniques has to be taken care. So when this yoga techniques, when it has been taken through, very subtler, very simpler practices, which, progressively taken to any person in a continuous manner, it is really going to have a very stronger, better, and a faster evolutionary process in a very demanding way. So this is what the topic was meant to be. I think I have delivered the best of myself. I had so many, so many things in my mind. I don't know whether I have delivered everything, but still we will have some practice, very small practice, to know the much better, betterment of the better of ourselves. We are better than what we are today, what we are now. Okay, so to know that, we will just move into some practice. Just close your eyes, be in the place wherever you are. Simple closing your eyes. Relax your hands. Relax your legs. Relax your total physical body. Say to your body, relax. You would have to say it mentally without even opening your lips. Say relax and feel relaxed. Be aware of the whole body again. Feel the body from the top of your head till the tip of your toes, the total body in whatever state it is. Just be still, be aware of the body. And say to it, relax. Once again, be aware of the total body. Be aware of your breath and say to the breath, as if you would say to a little born baby, with so much love in your heart, with so much kindness in your words, say to the breath, relax. And feel it getting relaxed. Feel the body relaxed. Feel the mind relaxed. Now move your awareness to your eyebrow center. Simple awareness on the eyebrow center. Imagine you are there at your eyebrow center. Do not try hard. Be aware of your eyebrow center and imagine you are there at your eyebrow center. Now having the awareness on the eyebrow center, now breathe in long and deep and breathe out, relax. Again, breathe in long and deep. Breathe out completely, slowly, and relax. One more time. Breathe in long and deep. And breathe out, completely relax. Now slowly move your head from side to side. Simply move your head from side to side and slowly open your eyes. So that is the end of the practice. Hari Om Tat Sat. Open your eyes. See the objects around. And try to feel the peace that's there within you. The calmness that is there within you.
Thank
And
you.
That's it. So with a very happy note, I would like to thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the participants whoever has participated here. Thank you so much, Shalini, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you so much, Vaidi sir, for creating this platform together with all the technical supports team and everybody whoever has been in the backdrop. Thank you to each and every one of them whoever has been a pillar in getting up to this Acharya 2022. Thank you so much again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gyandarshi, for coming despite of the challenges you faced and proving it literally, the power of yoga. The power of yoga, anything and everything is possible. If one practices regularly, the art of balancing and the art of grounding is wonderful. Uh, so like from what all you have discussed to us today, I think the students would have realized, even though they are having any physical problems, health related I'm talking about, We were discussing about the thyroid and that mental imbalance, how it really shattered one person's life if a person is following the yogic techniques. Because people think yoga is only for yogis, rishis, munis, and for some sadhaks. It's not that way. Every student would have realized by now, as Gyandarshi ma'am has given a wonderful output, it is very much necessary in day to day life today. Yoga is the science of right living. One has to be physically, mentally, emotionally balanced in order to carry themselves wonderful in any environment they come across. If that lost, then everything is lost. So she gave with wonderful examples, and she has given you a practice also. And if anyone is interested in really, of course, there is physical education department in the college, and they are doing a great job. But if any student is willing to explore and experience the advanced side of it, you are always welcome. And we are likely to conduct different combo of programs shortly. And from morning, I think the students are realizing and understanding how to bring out the inner potence of each and every individual. It's not that only this person can do or that person can do. It's not that. Everybody born in this world, every individual has their own inner potence. And to bring out that inner potence, yoga is a wonderful spiritual divine tool. So that was a great session from Gyandarshi, who has come despite of the challenge and presented this session. Very happy to have you, Gyandarshi, here. And the session was amazing. And I really pray for Shivanjali's speedy recovery. All will be well when people do
Thank you.
things with
Thank you.
social responsibility. I pass it over to Vaidi.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, and I think that was a very excellent session in terms of the practical application of yoga and the yogic way of life. And I think this session has been a wonderful segue from the mental aspect of yoga to the physical aspects of yoga. And of course, the practice was definitely very calming, and it was a very peaceful exercise that we did. So thanks a lot for your time despite your challenges to come and talk to us. It's been an extremely enlightening session. So thank you for being here. It was our pleasure hosting you at Acharya 2022.
Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all. Thank